NALF, you wore that vest in yesterday's video. You wore that vest all the time. Why don't you wear something new? Yeah, I love this vest. My grandma got it for me for Christmas. Thank you, Grammy. And I'm gonna wear it because I like it. So just don't freak out. You're gonna see this vest a lot. Okay, anyway, what is up, guys? For those of you who don't know me or are new to my channel, my name is Nick Alfieri, aka NALF. I'm an American football player playing American football here in Schwäbisch Hall, Germany for the Schwäbisch Hall Unicorns, and this is my YouTube channel. Now, when you move to a different country, you are going to, of course, experience some culture shock. I've made some videos about my culture shock experiences on some of the bigger topics, but today I want to talk about 5 smaller culture shock topics that I've experienced here in Germany. Number 1 is seeing kids, young kids, school kids with their big backpacks walking around all over with not a parent in sight. When I first got to Germany, this was absolutely shocking. It still is a little bit weird for me seeing these young kids walking around without their parents, and it's just totally fine and totally normal. In the States, you really don't see that as often. I remember when I was home this winter, actually, my mom and I saw a young girl walking alone on the sidewalk, and we both felt really weird about it. We actually pulled off to the side of the road and kind of watched her from a distance to make sure that everything was okay, because you just don't see that, and people just don't feel as comfortable and as safe letting their kids walk around like that or travel around on public transportation, buses, trains, stuff like that. So seeing young kids walking around, navigate through cities, transportation, whatever it is, by themselves, was absolutely shocking when I first got here, and still is. But it's cool because it means that people feel safe and people in general are safe, so you can let your kids roam around like that. Number 2, normal, basic, regular water is sparkling water, carbonated water. Growing up in the States, we really don't drink sparkling water that often. It's just normal, stilles Wasser. Here, when I first got to Germany, order a water at a restaurant, they bring you this bubbly water. I'm like, what the French is this? Now I've gotten used to it, and I actually only drink sparkling water. I hardly ever drink stilles Wasser anymore, only when I'm playing sports. And I even fell in love with carbonated sparkling water so much that I got a water carbonation machine at home in Portland, because I just love it now. But at first, I absolutely hated it. Number 3, internet issues, specifically things like HBO Now being blocked, or my first year out here in 2016 when that whole Jima situation was going on and all of these YouTube videos and music videos and stuff like that were unavailable in Germany. German Netflix just having different content than US Netflix. Now they've solved all those Jima issues, and most of those YouTube videos are now available here in Germany, which is a good thing, but still, HBO Now, HBO Go, blocked out here, which sucks. So it means that we have to stream Game of Thrones, which as a filmmaker and content creator, I am feeling more and more guilty about streaming people's work that they worked hard on. But I mean, I still do it. It's Game of Thrones. I have to watch it. Also, the content on German Netflix is different than the content on US Netflix. And by different, I mean worse. So these internet issues, trying to watch stuff, that has been a bit tough. Number 4, eating all of the food that is on your plate. Coming from the good old USA, we kind of have a reputation of being a bit wasteful in some regards, and the German way is to not waste anything. You know, in the States, we have huge portion sizes. Throw as much stuff as you want on your plate. Eat as much as you can. And if you can't finish it, it's fine. Just throw it down the garbage disposal. You're good. It doesn't matter. Here in Germany, it is not okay if you leave food on your plate. And I can feel it. Like early on, if I would leave some food on my plate and, take the dish up or whatever, I could feel people, looking at me thinking that's not right. What is this guy doing? And now I don't do that anymore. I make sure I only take the amount of food that I can eat, and I eat everything on my plate. Good job now. Saving the world. Very good. And lastly, number 5 is the German, more casual approach or outlook on drinking and alcohol. In the States, you cannot drink alcohol until you were 21, and it is an extremely taboo subject, especially for young people. Here in Germany, if I've got my facts right, you can buy beer and wine at age 16 and harder alcohol when you're 18. It's just not looked on as so taboo. If I go downtown Schwäbisch Hall, I'll see people having a beer with lunch, having a beer at dinner, having a beer after practice, stuff like that. It just seems more casual and not as taboo. And I think that's a good thing, because in the States, because it's so taboo, when people go off to college, they've never had any experience with alcohol, and then they start experimenting and drinking for the first time and not really knowing how to handle it or anything about it. And that's when people run into problems. So I think having this more casual approach to it is better in the long run. Okay, so those are just some things that I, as an American, have had to get used to living in Germany. Now, let me know in the comments if you're German or European and you've been to the States, what are some things that you had to get used to over there? All right? That's all for today. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time.